Hey guys, thank you for coming for our last sectionals. It's kind of weird doing it online, but we want to give you guys a chance to, reminisce. Is that the word? Reminisce for the year. We've been through a lot this year, especially with this COVID-19 stuff or coronavirus stuff going around. It's kind of sad that we don't get to see you guys anymore in the dorm. Jameson and I are still in the dorm, and it's really sad to see it empty and no couples snuggling in the lobby, no people making the kitchen dirty, and um, no, yeah, no more girls. That's kind of sad. No naked man running around campus. So we do miss you and your boys. So for our last sectionals, what we usually do in PVG, and that's what we're doing today, is we're doing the Golden Plate Awards. And what that basically is it's just the RA gives an award in the Golden Plate, so like this. But it's based on your guys' quirks, some funny story that we have with you guys, some things, something weird that you guys say a lot, like James usually say like atila or oi or something like that. So it's just a chance for us to look back into the year, see what we've been through together, what God took us through together. And lastly, we're gonna give an award to a resident that we think really capture what PVG really is. So what a resident who captures what the best dorm on campus really is. So it's basically the best person on campus. It's called the Will Bassam Award. The Will Bassam Award is based on a creature named Will Bassam. He does some weird stuff, like I don't know, leaving poop on stuff. Um, so um, yeah, but we love him. He was a resident for 4 years in PVG, I believe. He's prehistoric. Nobody really know who he is except for like old people. But he really captured what being a PVG resident really means. So we will give this Will Bassam Award to our to one of our resident, and he got a choice whether to moon everybody or to give a 1 minute speech. And unfortunately, our loss, he chose to give a 1 minute speech, but that's okay too, since we don't, yeah, yeah, I mean, seeing his butt is not that entertaining. So, um, I don't know why I said that. I thought his girlfriend probably won't appreciate it. Anyways, okay. Anyways, we're just gonna go through our Golden Plate Awards. We're just gonna do Lukey, Jake, and James. They're gonna present. I can't really see James' face. We're just gonna go through the Golden Plates now. Okay. Starting with Lukey.
All right. Okay, Boonaya, that was really funny. So you threw off my groove. But anyways, hey guys. First off, I just miss being in the dorms. I'm just sad by this way the year's wrapping up. But still, we're wrapping it up. And just looking back on the year, it was such a good year. I had so much fun, so many good memories, pillow fights, pizza nights, movie nights. It was a good time. And the attic was totally lit for the first year of existence. And we definitely made our mark in winning Mr. VG and all that rad stuff. Um, so yeah, I just miss you guys. I wish I could have said bye to all you guys. Um, Definitely hope you're all doing well and staying healthy. As far as awards go, for the first guy in the hall, story goes like this. I'm off campus this one weekend. I'm at a coffee shop doing homework, and I get a phone call from Boonaya. So I pick it up, and he's like, "Hey, Luke, did you hide your door somewhere?" I'm like, "What door?" And he's like, "Your door to your dorm room." And I was like, "No, why would I do that?" Anyways, what happened was, since I was gone for the weekend, one of the smart aleck freshmen decided to steal my entire door, hinges and all, and hide it in his room, which eventually got him in trouble with campus safety, which is fantastic. And overall, is one of my favorite pranks for the year. And it ended with me successfully getting him back by taking 3 Little Caesars pizzas and taking each slice and duct taping it to the walls of his room, which was super dope, and it made his room smell like pizza. So for the Pizza Delivered Right to Your Door award, this one goes to your boy, Josiah Roth. And that's it for me. And
Jake, it's your turn now.
What is up, everybody? Yeah, in that same boat as Lukey and as Boonaya, just sucks right now. I really wish that I was able to be here with all you guys. This year has been so much fun, and I've loved it so much. Just being able to even walk through the halls and just hearing everybody being in their rooms, yelling, playing Call of Duty, guilty. But it's just something that I really miss. I miss our smelly hallways, which is really weird to say because I'm in a nice clean house now, but I really do. PVG's home, and I'm glad that I was able to spend it with all you guys. So 2 awards. This first award goes off to a guy in our hall who, well, he has a name that most everybody here has. And yeah, you can deduct that to 2 people. So suck it. You don't exactly know who it is yet. But this guy, he got a job, and this job is somewhere that all of us really would like to work. It's a great establishment. It's a place that has a very, very strict dress code. And that dress code is all white, clean, fantastic, love it. So going out to one of the guys that I love to talk to, I love to joke around with, and he loves to talk, especially when he has to do homework after coming back from work. The Back at It Again with the White Dickies award goes to my man Caleb. Man. Also, the Dollar Tree didn't have any gold plates, so we have these trashy papers, but I swear they'll look better later. I love you all. Jamesy.
Oh man, thanks, Jake. Yeah, just echoing everything everybody said. Really miss all you guys. It's really weird going from having like 24 of you guys in the hall to just having like 6. Like, I don't know, it's just too quiet. And now like I'm in Nick's room right now, and it's now my personal office. So I guess that's kind of sorry, not sorry, Nick. Yeah, I just miss hanging out with you guys, miss seeing you guys, stopping in the dorms or in the rooms, and just seeing you around campus. Really wish we could have had some last blowouts, but I'll be in town next year, so I know I'll definitely be seeing you guys. But 2 awards. So for this award, I guarantee you, if you live in and or around PVG, you've heard this guy's voice, but you probably don't know what he looks like. He's normally always in his room, and he's normally playing Fortnite. And by hear his voice, I mean he's normally screaming absurd things and is raging pretty hard or getting really good dubs. And on several occasions, people in the lobby have heard him from his room, which is pretty impressive from upstairs. So for the Fortnite award goes to Cody. Yeah.
All right. So moving on to another guy in the hall. One of those guys you meet and you just instantly know, or instantly the word pops to mind is just like swag. Sexy would work too, but I just think swag when I see this guy. This is a freshman who came to the dorms and didn't look like a freshman, looked like he owned the place, looked like he knew what he's doing. And that definitely is true also on the court. This guy comes back from his first game as not a gold squad player, but first string varsity player at Corbin. Comes back with a record of 20 points in one game. And when he's walking into the hall, one of the guys yells out, "What up, Reese 20 piece?" So the 20 piece award goes to my boy Reese. Love you, bro. All right, Jake.
Oh, that was great. Well, this next award goes off to a returner of West Side. It's one of my good friends, and something about him that it's been pretty consistent over these 2 years is that, whenever like we need to do something, whenever I'm trying to find him, he's just not there. And I'm like, I always don't know why. I'm like, where is this dude? I know, like, I've probably went into his room to find him 15 to 20 times this year, and he's been in there once. And the only time he was there, he was asleep. Though, those other times where I go and I'm like, all right, whenever, can't find him. I'll be walking down the path going somewhere, and all of a sudden I see him walking out on Deer Park Drive. I'm like, what the heck? Where is this dude? But nonetheless, I love him so much. He's like a brother to me, and I'm so glad that I got to have him in my hall again this year. So the Wanderer Award goes out to my friend and my brother, Mirius. Jamesy, you're up.
Well, for our next award, very significant guy in the hall. He's one of the most spotted guys at small group. Almost has a perfect attendance record. Only for a couple of other times that he wasn't there. But more importantly, he adds something else to the hall. Doesn't really matter what time of day it is, whether it's quiet hours or not, he doesn't really pay much attention to that, but he's always playing music, and it's always worship music. You can normally hear him singing or just playing his guitar, practicing. And he's a very close friend of mine. So glad that I've gotten to be able to get to know him so well this past year, and I only regret that I don't have another year to grow with him. So for the Hall Worship Coordinator Award, it goes to Deswan. Love you, brother.
All right, moving on. So if you're into sports at Corbin, like I am, and you're into basketball particularly, like I am, it's probably my favorite sport. Sorry, track, but it's true. I love basketball. If you're into basketball and you go to the basketball games in the next few years, you can definitely be expecting to see a big man on the court who his freshman year was straight from the attic, so represent. This guy not only is a killer basketball player, he's also got some super fly hair, which I personally really appreciate. So the Tay You're So Hot Award, gifted to him by his roommate Reese, but then copied down for our awards, goes to Taylor Anderson.
The next award we got, it's actually from another returner to the hall. And if there is one word to describe this man that anyone in our hall would say, it would just have to be genius. This man is an intellectual at heart and in mind. There's been so many times over these last couple years, especially this year, that I've been able to go down with him and some of his roommates, and being able to go down to Airmark and just really engage in these fantastic conversations, like what the capital of the state of Atlanta is, and just a lot of other just big-minded, or should I say, as the award is called, big brain conversations. So for the big brain award, it's my boy Miles. I love you, dude.
Oh, thank you, Jake. It's so weird doing this over video because normally everyone's here and you just hear like giant applause. You come up and hug your roommate, or not your roommate, your RA, and get the plate. And it's very weird not having you guys all here, but I know you guys are still here in spirit. So, or hopefully you might have just skipped this sectional too because you couldn't get fined in this one. So, anyways, for the next award, it goes to a guy. I see him quite frequently, but always in short intervals. He's always on the move. He's normally doing stuff, seeing people. Don't see him chilling out all too often, unless he's in bed or it's time for small group. And if there's one thing that I could say really embodies this person, it's Mr. Nice Guy. Like every time you see him, he always has a smile on his face. It's almost impossible for him to talk without a smile. And even when he's confused. So the always Mr. Nice Guy award goes to my man, Trevor Haslett.
Yeah, I can echo that, James. This is funky doing this over video. But hope you guys are watching. And yeah, just miss you guys. Echo that also. So for this next award, this goes to one of those guys that just has one of those personalities that just, it's like addicting. Like everywhere he goes, he's just making friends. From the first time I met him, which surprisingly was this year because we're in the same class, but I just didn't bump into you, unfortunately, before this point. But definitely we'll be hanging next year, bro. This award goes to someone who looks remarkably like a very famous person, only a few feet shorter. But yeah, if you're a LeBron James fan, which I'm not, but you'll recognize little LeBron James running around campus. The only difference between him and LeBron James is this guy's a lot more jacked and probably could beat LeBron in arm wrestling. So for the LBJ award, it goes to Corwell, my brother.
That was good. For this next award, it actually goes out to one of the freshmen in the hall. And this guy, he's very, very chill, like laid back dude. He's definitely one of the people that you just want to hang out with and just vibe. Like you don't even really have to be doing anything. You could just be like eating peaches or something and listening to some music. Peaches specifically, though, no other fruit. And as soon as he came in, I was like, this is one of my guys. Like I love this dude. Like as soon as I met him, I knew that we were gonna vibe really well. And he was actually one of the 4 guys for West Side to go into Mr. VG. And from that, he was one of the 2 guys to move on to the second night. And I remember being in Airmark with him, and we were talking about our duct tape costumes and stuff like that. And he's like, yeah, I was thinking about doing Thor. And I was like, yeah, I was told about it, and I think it might be good. And I was like, well, what embodies you as a person? I was like, make something that is you. And he goes and he sits there. And he's like, And he looks down, says, flip flop. I was like, what? He's like, I'm going to be a flip flop. I was like, hey, that's what I'm talking about. I love it. So for the Give Me Flip Flops or Give Me Death award, Isaac.
Yeah. Alrighty, for this next one, goes out to a freshman in the hall. Another guy you probably haven't seen, unless you go to a lot of golf games, or meets, games, matches. Yes, the events that you participate in golf. But this is one of the guys that he's always in his room, and it's always locked. It doesn't matter what time of day it is. It doesn't matter whether he's in the room or out of the room. It's locked. And every single time, almost every single time, I stop by his room to chat, say hi, say come to small group, invite to come to small group, he'd always be doing one thing, and that's calculus homework. And so for the I Only Party with Calc 2 and Putters award goes to Calvin. Love you, my dude.
All right. So this is a guy, similarly, who stays in his room a lot. However, he's pretty well known around campus among the math majors of all groups. This guy is smart. This guy is freaky smart. And the more I got to know him, I was like, wow, I got a philosopher or a mathematician, whatever you want to call it, in my hall. Yeah, so between bonding over cars, working out, NF, music, and not math because I can't stand it. However, if I ever need help on it, I know who to go to. And that will be the Fleek philosopher. Not only is he smart, he also has hair that is always on fleek. And he literally wakes up at like 5:30 in the morning to go and work on his fleek. So it's on point, dude. Keep it up.
Who was it?
And that went to Josh Diaz, my boy.
Ew. All right, this award is going out to a returner as well. So this guy actually wasn't in the hall the whole year. He came at semester. This guy was, like as soon as he got here, he went and slowly moved this in, and I went and was just like, man, this place is freaky loud compared to what it used to be. And I had no clue why. But there was one thing that connected, what happened with him coming in and making everything loud with the same way that he showered. It sounded like there was just constantly a boombox going off. So for my man, my brother, my fellow teammate, the boombox award goes to you. Love you, Zach.
Oh, that's great. All right, this next one goes to the good guy in the hall. He actually also transferred at this past semester, not a year ago, but oh wait, nope, I picked up the wrong plate. Sorry, that's an intro for another person. This is the intro for the Mr. Fortune 500 award. So this is the guy that I met him at the very beginning of the year, and he is also a freshman, and he has one of those personalities that just intrigues you. You don't necessarily know what's going on in his mind, and you don't know what he likes to do, but you just know he's there. And the more you get to know him, you find out that he actually owns a business designing uniforms and logos and advertisements for sports. And he's actually making bank, like crazy bank. Like, I need to get into that business. But I'm not as creative or as good with tech as you are. So the Mr. Fortune 500 award goes to my dude, Diego.
All right. So this award goes to someone we all know in the attic. It's kind of like Papa Attic. He's one of those old guys, which we have very few of. But he lives down the hall in his room by himself, and he's a very friendly guy. This is a guy I've known since freshman year. Good friends with him now, and just someone I always am happy to see and chat with, get lunch with. Someone I'm happy is not able to graduate this year because we get to chill next year. So well, I'm gonna keep explaining it. So yeah, we only have there's 3 seniors in the hall this year. This was one of them. And yeah, he looks like he's about 35. So it is kind of surprising he's still in college. However, he is, and I actually don't even know how old you are, but you look like you're 35. That's a compliment, by the way, if you want to take it that way. But anyways, to the old man down the hall award goes to my boy Georgie. All right, Jake.
This award is going out to a young man in the hall, a freshman to be exact. And this guy, he actually moved in early, so I was really excited. When he moved in, I was like, yeah, let's go, we got a dude, we have somebody. And I was getting super, super pumped. There's people already starting to fill in. I was still going through training, and then I never saw him because he was out on a retreat, and I was like, oh, he's not here. That's fine, and so I guess I'll just see him later. But I was a little sad. But other than that, he's just probably one of the other just chill dudes in our hall. Whenever I see him, it's always a smile on the face. It's always just a joke or anything like that. He also went and just is the chillest roommate ever. Saying that his roommate may or may not have bought a hot tub, and when he was asked, he was like, yeah, I'm fine with it, I just don't want to pay for it. Like, what? If that's not the definition of having a chill roommate, then I don't know what the heck is. So for my brother, I'm giving you the Dude Award. It's for you, Kentner. Love you, baby.
Oh man. All right. This next award, this goes to a guy that is very genetically unique. He gets probably crap about it all the time. I know he gives himself crap about it all the time, and it's hilarious. Never fails to make me laugh awkwardly because I don't know if I should be laughing or if I should be sympathizing. Yeah. But I'm not going to give him an award based on that because that's what he always gets recognition for. This goes to a guy who has always made the hall interesting behind the scenes. And this comes from my favorite story. I walk into the bathroom one day and I see Nick Torrey. He's not getting this award, it's who he's with. He's sitting in the stall with another guy rubbing his back. And this guy is puking his guts out, like profusely. And I walk in and I'm like, crap, he's probably been drinking. Not that he would do that or anything like that. But I'm like, man, now I have to deal with the situation and I have to deal with him puking and I want to be there for him. And I walk over and I'm just like, hey, what's up, guys? And after he just finished hacking, he turns to me and he still has like a chunk on his cheek and he's like, I swear it's not a hangover, it's my arm. And it just has a huge cast on his arm. He just got surgery. So that really lifted my heart, knowing that I didn't have to deal with that situation. So the "it's not a hangover, it's my arm" award, it goes to your boy Alex Hicks.
All right. For my next award, this guy, man, when I was thinking of awards for him, I thought of like 7 because he's a unique guy. He's a funny guy. You'll probably recognize him from standing up on stage leading worship. But he's got more talents up his sleeve than worship. One of which is shacking out in the lobby profusely. If you're ever awake at 3 o'clock in the morning in PVG and you want a friend, just head out to the lobby, and I can almost guarantee he'll be sitting out there on the couch with his girlfriend waiting for you. So feel free to join in. Also, he pretty much took over the movie room this year, and if you wanted to watch a movie, you should go to him and ask for it, because that is like his dwelling. Anyways, I could go on, but for the guy who I don't think ever was in his room the entire year, I'm giving the homeless award to Jeremy.
Can I say something about Jeremy real quick?
Yeah, go for it.
So, if you guys don't know, there's a group of people in PVG that when they sign up for the movie room, since you can only sign up for 3 hours, they sign up from 8:30 to 11:30, and then they figure that no one will use the last 30 minutes of the movie room, so they just took it. So I just think I'm really impressed by them.
Good job, Jeremy. Good job. Well, this next award is going out to a guy in our hall. He's new to our hall, new to our school. And there was like one thing about him that like kind of like I found out in that second conversation that I had with him, but it's just his love for anything film. TV, movies, YouTube videos. I mean, like I remember the first time that he came and just hung out in the room in the coffee shop. He went and just was like, "Hey, like, you want to watch just like videos of dogs falling downstairs?" Like, like yeah, like let's go. And just being able to watch all these videos, and he's just cracking up laughing. It was one of the most fun things ever, just sitting there. We sat there for probably an hour and a half and watched YouTube videos when we should have been doing homework. But this is probably my favorite story from him, the favorite conversation that I had. But I just came back from winter break. Ari's come back a couple days early to do some training, and he was there. And he's going and he's filling up his big jug of water that he fills up like once or twice a day. Most of the time he does it at night, and he's filling up this jug of water, and he goes and he looks at me and he's like, "Oh, what's up, man?" He's like, "Bro, guess what?" I was like, "Guess what I did over break?" I was like, "What?" He's like, "I watched the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe." And I was like, "What?" I'm like, "This is insane." He's like, "Yeah, man." He's like, "I got hurt, so I can't be playing basketball right now. So all I have to do is just sit down and just watch movies." So not only did he watch the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe, but he also was watching a bunch of other TV shows and movies on top of that, while just sitting there resting up his ankle. And for that, the binging connoisseur award goes to my man Doman.
You're still on mute, James.
Thank you, Boonaya. So this goes out to a guy who came at semester. He actually came with another friend of his who also lives in the hall. And they're from the same area, so that narrows it down to 2 guys. But this guy, he just has a way about him. The way he walks, the way he talks, and the way he looks. He just looks like he has money. Like, he looks like he's just got bags. Like, I'm afraid to look underneath his mattress because I'm afraid of what I'm going to find. But you'll never find a guy more chill, more just willing to have like an honest conversation with you, even if it's super late at night, or if he's busy. Absolutely love this guy, and because of his probable future of great wealth, I said the Great Lakes Millionaire Award goes to my boy Travis P.
All right. Yeah, there's a hamster that lives in the attic. In case you didn't know, it's a well-known fact, or maybe not well-known. It's probably just an attic known fact. But yeah, it's a pretty famous hamster. It, went on to win a very big award this year. It is sticking around next year. You'll definitely meet it if you live in the attics next year. So that's the hamster. Haven't named it yet, but we should definitely get around to that at some point. Anyways, this hamster belongs to a guy in my hall. Very fun guy. I met him last year when I first got back to campus. Literally, first person I met when I got on my car. He is from all over the world. He's lived, I don't know how many places. One of which is Japan. He loves coffee, which I respect. And yeah, he was just a fun guy to have in the hall this year. Total goof. So for the Hamster Chess is Chief Award, I'm giving this to the only guy I've ever met who has chest hair that looks exactly like a hamster between his pecs, and also the guy who's going to be the RA of the attic next year, and your boy Mr. VG 2020. So this one goes to Luke Walker.
Hey. Well, this next award is going out to another freshman in the hall. And, this guy, he went and he's pretty quiet. Like, when he's going in between classes, it's either just going to be headphones on or like not, but he's just going to be walking. Like, maybe he's with his roommate or with another friend. Like, they might be talking a little bit, but, he's got like that pretty serious look. He's determined. He's also a freshman that I was extremely surprised that actually like really kept up on his schoolwork and like was talking to me. He's like, yeah, bro, I don't have anything to do. Like, I'm caught up like everything this week and I'm working on stuff for next week. And I was like, holy crap. I was doing stuff like 2 minutes before it was due my freshman year. This is wild. Yeah, I was not a very good student freshman year, fun fact. But this guy just like all around just really, really impresses me. And one of those things is on the baseball field. I remember I watched his first bullpen that he threw with the team, and I was like, looking at the coach, I was looking at Virtue, I was like, you see this guy right now? And he says, yeah, I know, right? On top of that, he's also in one of the 4 people that you will hear, screaming things playing Call of Duty in the hall. And the only person that I've actually ever seen that has a SCUF controller. He's very serious about his gaming, and I love it. He's really fun to watch. So for the I don't know what's filthier, his changeup or his trick shots award goes to Nate. Love you, baby.
Oh, heck yeah. So this next award goes to a freshman in the hall. He's a very interesting guy. Don't really know how to describe him except, I don't know, kind of dorky, but not dorky in a bad sense, dorky in a good sense. Like, he looks like super jacked and he's on the wrestling team And when you just see him walking around, like you imagine he'd just be like sizing you up and like squaring up. But you get to talking to him and he's just goofy. And one of my favorite stories with me and this guy, I walked into his room and we were chatting, me, him, and his roommate. And I don't know, they just seemed to be like waiting for me to notice something. And so we were just chatting, and then I look over to the desk and I see this bottle that's like this big, and it looks exactly like a bottle of whiskey. And I'm like, all right, man, now I have to face this. So I was like, oh, and also going through my mind, I'm like, these guys are not that stupid. I know if they were doing this, they wouldn't get caught. Am I really going to? So I look at the desk and I'm like, so guys, what's that? And they start busting out laughing, and he was like, oh man, you thought it was alcohol. No, dude, that's just my shampoo. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I would say. And so I like went over and smelt it, and he's like, you can even taste it if you want. And I was tempted, but the smell was good enough. It wasn't alcohol. So I swear it's not alcohol. It's my shampoo, or it goes to my dude Shane.
Well, I haven't heard that one. That's a good story. And I want that shampoo. Yeah, moving on. So this is a guy. This is just a nice guy. This is yeah, if you haven't met him, definitely should get out of your way to say hey to him. He's got one more year at Corbin, so he'll be around next year. This is a guy that's so nice that he offered to live with a freshman when he was a junior. So you got to be a pretty nice guy to do that, because freshmen are gross a lot of the times. Just saying, I was, and I know a lot of them, especially one of them named Isaac. Anyways, this is a nice guy, and he offered to live with a freshman, and then another freshman wanted to move in with his roommate at the time, and he was like, yeah, sure, you can live with him. I'll switch rooms with you. And nothing in it for himself, just switch rooms just because he wanted those guys to be roommates. So such a nice guy, and I could give him so many different awards because he's a very unique guy. He, as James says, looks like a millionaire, and the owner of Papua. I think more like the future president of Papua. But I could give him an award. But when I think of Ketox, I just think of hey bro, and I can't get it right, but hey bro, hey bro, it's Ketox. Every time you see him, I love it. So hey bro, award goes to Ketox.
Hey, bro.
Hey, bro. Love you, Ketox. This goes out to a new guy in our hall, but not someone that's new to Corbin. This guy is just one of the nicest dudes ever. Just being able to just have any type of conversation with him, you can just go and you can feel the love. You know, he's just someone that's always gonna have just like this big bright smile on his face, and you're just gonna feel like, oh, like, ooh, okay. But he also is one of the most built people that I have ever seen. And like I go and I see like this guy stepping out of the shower, and I'm like backing up. I'm like, all right, man, like you're cool, like it's fine. Like this dude's got muscles on his muscles. And just a little story. I went and during this year I had to take a trip out to Florida to see my grandma, who is not in very good health, and I emailed my hall about it. And as soon as I got back, the very first time I saw him, he just went and came to me and just asked me about how things were going, and just was telling me how he's really been praying, and just that how important family is, and honestly just like made me feel really, really good, and just not a great time for me. And for that, the Hard Body Tender Heart Award goes out to my brother Luz. Love you, man.
Heck yeah. Well, this one goes out to one of my favorite freshmen on second floor. I love this guy. He's absolutely amazing. I mean, I love all you guys, but there's just something about him that's just loud, and I like that. I mean, you can walk past his room and just be like, wow, I know exactly what that guy stands for and exactly what that guy believes. You walk in his room and you'll see all these posters and all these flags, and you're like, wow, this guy's a freaking conservative and he loves America. And my favorite pastime with him is playing Fortnite, coming in here and watching him play Fortnite and just screaming away mostly L's, but some dubs. Or just hopping on zombies or COD. And it's just been an absolute pleasure to have him in the hall this year. He's one of those guys that you can always rely on as an RA to get the hall hyped up and like get people involved in doing the hall events and stuff. So the God Trump Dubs and Fishing Award goes to my boy Nick. I love you, dude.
All right. So for my next one, I know I'm not supposed to pick favorites as an RA, but this guy is for sure my favorite guy in the hall. I'm sorry, but it's true. This is a guy who, if they gave awards to roommates, I think he should win it because he was a fantastic roommate. He also was my roommate. He was the RAR of the hall. Awesome dude. I know every single guy in the hall loves him. One of those guys that I told him this when I asked him to be my roommate last year. I was like, hey, could you be my roommate? I know I'm going to be an RA. It's going to be not your normal chill room. There's going to be a lot of guys in there. But you are a guy that literally everyone likes. And you're the perfect guy to have as a roommate for an RA because of that. A guy who, even though he's a senior, is reaching out, is going, meeting all the freshmen, getting to know them, hanging out with them, playing mini golf with them, chilling in the lobby every night, never does homework. Like if there was a Will Bassam Award for the guy that lived in PVG for 4 years, it should go to you, Scott. So he has lived in PVG every year, and he is actually the first guy in all of history in all time to live in every single floor of PVG. He lived in the basement for 2 years. He lived in Northside, first floor last year, and now he's up in the attic. So for the Every Floor Award, this one goes to my favorite boy and one of my best friends, Scotty.
This next award is going out to another returner from the hall. He was one that was just really busy this year. He went and he stepped up into a couple different positions, and it was just a whole lot. On top of that, being an upperclassman, it was just a lot of workload on his classes as well. And then on top of that, girlfriend, and those take time. But with that, I know we weren't able to like go out and hang out and do things a lot, but of all of our like just really great times that I really cherished and being able to have together is just being able to go into your room and just sit down on the couch and just binge watch YouTube or Netflix or something like that. And I think it was the first or second time that I went and I sat down with you and your two roommates, and we were watching PewDiePie Minecraft videos. And from that point on, I just heard you and your roommates just screaming stuff from PewDiePie's Minecraft videos for a super long time. Then on top of that, this man was a freaking champ because his appendix decided that it wanted to explode, but then was like, psych, I'm not going to explode. And he did both nights of Mr. VG, the second night feeling like both nights feeling like absolute crap. He couldn't do the cow tongue because he might have exploded. So for the Mr. Pee Pee Poo Poo Award goes to you, Paul. I love you so much. I'm so glad you're staying in Salem next year, too. I love you. Bye.
Oh man, that's great. So for this next guy, he gets a very special award, and I feel like if I even just said the award, everyone would automatically know who it is. He's on first floor, and I'm going to say the award first, and then I'll get to the sentimental stuff. It is the Dazed and Confused Award. This is a guy, I've known him for a couple years now. It's absolutely awesome that we've been able to grow a little closer this year. I feel bad that we haven't been able to just hang out, but he's always in another person's room. He's never in his own room, and his current roommate doesn't really mind that at all. So it's kind of a perfect situation. But anytime I see him around the hall, like, he's just immediate to just have a conversation with me. It's awesome. But if there's one trait that he has, it's that he looks dazed and confused, if you know what I mean. Just very like, yeah, what's up, man? Like, yeah. And just very starey and completely unrelated to the insinuations that means. But he's always smiling, and he's always just a joy to be around. I love this guy. So for the Dazed and Confused Award, it goes to my man, Michael Bennett.
All right. So for my next award, this is a guy I really respect and admire as a man. He's a freshman, but he's definitely a mature freshman at that. He was one of those guys that came to Corbin with a mission, and his mission was he wanted to have a fun time. He wanted to get to know people. He wanted to excel in all his classes. He wanted to be in leadership. He wanted to have the awesomest roommates. He wanted to be a part of his hall. He wanted to be an RA next year. Like, this guy went for it in a way that I was just like, how are you alive? Like, you took 20-something credits your first semester at Corbin. So a work ethic like none I've seen before, and just a desire to always excel in what you do and have a good time while you're at it. You're just a really fun guy to be around. And this is a guy that probably all you guys know. He hangs out in the lobby a lot. He hangs out in the hall a lot. He's up on stage during chapel. And he's a freshman. He's awesome dude. He also, you probably hear him once in a while in the lobby, people and going, boo, boo you, boo that. So I think it's hilarious. But the Boo Models Award goes to a guy who not only dresses like a model every day because your clothes are on fleek, dude, but also I recently figured out you are a male model, so I think that's hilarious. And congratulations in that. Not many of us could do that.
Who's the person, Luke?
Oh, I thought you could guess. I mean, I explained him so well. This goes to, I'm still on mute, aren't I? No, I'm not. This goes to Carson, the male model of the attic.
Now you're not on mute, Luke. This next award is going out to someone that everybody in PVG knows. This is a guy who went and he just has either been all around the lobby. He'll go into guys' rooms and just talk. He will, talk about anything from especially anime. You get him going on that. I know we have a lot of good deep heart to hearts about anime because we're both weebs. Um, but if there's one thing that you really, really would know about this man is about this man who moved in at semester is his love for lacrosse. So, for the I'm not sure if you know this, but I play lacrosse award goes to my boy Sean. Hey.
Oh man, that's great. Um, so this next guy in the hall, he's relatively new to campus. He's pretty new to the country in general, actually. This is a guy where you probably couldn't guess where he's from just by looking at him. But getting to know him and just talking with him, it's always an absolute pleasure. And it doesn't matter if you see him across campus, if you guys are running different ways, or if he's coming out of the bathroom and you're going this way. Doesn't matter where you see him, he's always smiling. It doesn't matter what time of day it is, whether it's 3 a.m. and you're like, why is he awake? I don't understand. Or if you go into his room and ask him if he's coming to small group and he's like, no, I've got homework. He's just always got a huge smile on his face. And in my opinion, it is the best smile in VG, and it never fails to make me happy. And that's the first thing I always think of when I think of this guy. So the best smile in VG award goes to my man, Tristan Risby.
Wow, that's pretty high praise. Wow, good job, Tristan. Congratulations on that. So I'm just going to show you this one first. You can't see it. Oh, there it is. There it is. This is the 5-star award. And yeah, this guy is 5 stars. He's all that. He lived in my hall first semester, essentially. Well, I actually did. He moved in without me knowing, even though he was supposed to be in Balliol. And then he officially moved in second semester, which was good for me because he could have got me in trouble if I had figured that out. So sneaky bro, but well played. Anyways, this award goes to him, and I call it the 5-star award because this is a picture of my back earlier on this year after a pillow fight. And he's like, hey guys, we're all shirtless. I've never given someone a 5-star. And being a supportive RA, I'm like, hey, you can give one to me. But unfortunately, this guy was not only the #1 ranked wrestler in all of Europe during high school, but he's also pretty jacked. And yeah, that's what happened. I literally was he for 2 weeks after that or something. So the 5-star award goes to you, Will Green.
Wow. I still feel shook about that, but we'll move on to this next award. This next award goes off to a guy who is actually a returner from the hall, but I am 95% sure that most of you guys don't know him because, it was either he would be in his room or, somewhere off campus, all the time. And it honestly felt like most of the time he was off campus, but it's okay. He has family around and friends. And the one thing though I do remember is he did come and he showed up to PVG on the night of our sectional when we did our mixtape, and he definitely did a repeat from what he did last year, and he just created a super hot track with a couple of the boys, a couple of the rooms collaborating together. So for the Fire Spitter Award goes out to Connor Carmen. Love you, Connie.
Alrighty, so this next guy, he's one of my favorite non-returner upperclassmen. I can say that because technically that's not choosing a favorite. I absolutely love this guy. Ever since day one, he's just been like feet to the ground, like pedal to the metal, just all in everything VG. And everything in the hall. He's just always been there and he always livens it up. And he is a very, very dear friend of mine. Super glad that I get to still come back and visit him next year, especially with him being a RA and an RA at that. He is taking the mantle of dude side next year, so he will be carrying the torch of this brand new baby. But if that doesn't give it away, this might. Anytime you're in VG and you come across a person and you cannot get out of a conversation, you start a conversation and words just keep flowing and it just keeps on keeping on. And even if you have someplace to go, you just need to go. You're like, all right, I got to go do this. And then for some reason, you just can't get out of it. And even in small group, when we're having discussions, when he's been going on and his RA hits him upside the head with the notebook, telling him to be quiet, then he'll stop. Or if he'll hang up the sign that says, shut up, Daniel, then he'll finally stop because he knows everyone's laughing. But that doesn't stop us from loving us. In fact, that's one of the many reasons I love you. So the Human Dictionary Audiobook Award goes to my brother, Daniel.
Daniel, that's so true. You guys are going to love you for that next year. If they're not good at holding conversations, you can just take that part for them. So for my next award, this is a guy that, man, it was easy to think of an award for you. I thought of an award for you like week 1 of school. Like, well, he's a freshman, first off. He's a guy with an excellent sock tan. You know, like when you look at someone's feet, you're like, wow, do you have glow in the dark like gel on your foot? It's so white. And then he's just like, no, that's my sock tan. He's also a guy that looks like a cowboy from Eastern Washington, which is where he used to live. However, his favorite movie series is Pitch Perfect. And he knows every single song. And for the mixtape, which you guys will all get to listen to soon, you can hear him sing some Pitch Perfect in his Washingtonian accent. It's hilarious. This is a guy that he was just fun to have in the hall. I'm really gonna miss you next year, bro. But one of those guys that when I send out the Snapchat group chat message that small group's coming up, you'll just respond like yay or I can't wait or something like that. And it just, you know, it lightens the mood and you always show up, except for this last week, which is fine, I guess, but you'll be here tomorrow. So yeah, this award goes to you because you earned the reputation of being a very, very quiet sneezer during all our movie nights, which most of them you hosted because you're literally glued to your TV. You'd sneeze quite often, and every time it was hilarious because it was the most like subdued and suppressed pain-sounding sneeze. So Silent Sneezer Award goes to Tanner Peterson.
This next award's going off to a freshman in the hall. He's one of the dudes that I just love to be able to go and have conversations with. He's the kind of guy that you can go and you can sit down and you can just have a conversation for an hour and a half and not even realize an hour and a half has gone by. He's also a person that, for everybody that has, you know, gone to our small groups knows that once he gets going, like he gets going and he will keep pulling out the stories from, you know, back in high school, back in Alaska. And on top of that, he was very, very broken this year. He came into the year with a cast on his right, and then ended the year with a cast on his left. Also found out that he's been wrestling with a torn labrum for the last couple of years, and I don't know. He probably hurt his left ankle, knee, and hip. Honestly, his left side is his Achilles heel. But he still wrestled for us, and he was one of our starters. So for the Glass Cannon Award goes to my boy, Jeremy. Love you, man. You're muted, bud.
Man, I keep doing that. Stupid Zoom. All right, so this next award goes to a guy that has been in PVG for a while, and he's been on campus for a while. And if there's one thing anyone should know about this person is you should never wrestle them. He's short, but he's buff. He may not be like super chiseled that you just see, but if he ever takes his shirt off, you're like, holy crap, like that is the definition of 5% body fat. Like it's insane. And you might also know him just as the stylish Papuan. He is always having sunglasses and he's always just too cool for anything. But he is such a funny guy to be around and he loves joking around. But my favorite story is, like I do with a lot of my Papuan brothers, anytime they enter the lobby, we square up and we just wrestle. And we just go at it. And this one time, me and him went at it after it was arm day for myself. Not saying that's the excuse to why I lost. I would have lost if I was on steroids. But he just absolutely was demolishing me, and I was fighting with all I had, and his head almost got slammed into a table in the lobby at once, but Naya freaked out and we said it was fine. But in the end, I just tapped because I was like, there's no way. So for the Macho Man Papuan Savage Award goes to my man, Arso. Love you, brother.
Love you, Arso. That's a funny one. Never got to wrestle you, though. I'm so bummed. Not actually. It's totally fine. You can keep just demolishing James. Anyways, for my next award, this goes to one of my good friends, guy I've really been missing recently, but we've been Zooming, so it's been good seeing you and just staying in contact. This was a freshman who looked like a senior. I always tell him that he could be the model if the Air Force needed someone to like model their uniforms, because he looks straight up military. And also, I am pretty sure that he'll be the U.S. president in the next 20 years. That's just a hunch, but I'm putting my money down now because it's going to happen. Anyways, this is just one of my good friends, a fun guy to have in the hall. Self-proclaimed tall and handsome at one point during a small group when we were talking about like spiritual strengths and weaknesses. I asked him, do you guys, have any ideas what yours are? And he was just like, yeah, I'm pretty sure my strengths are I'm tall and handsome, so I guess I have to, use that for God's glory now. And also self-proclaimed is a goofy guy. He thinks he's hilarious. I don't know how many people will agree with that, but yeah, he thinks he is, so good for you, man. So for the Humble and Handsome Award, I'm giving this one to Caleb Wilkins, my workout buddy, and the guy I'm really going to miss next year. But it was so much fun to have you in the hall this year, dude. Love you, dude.
For this next award, it's going off to another returner in the hall. Actually, no, he's not a returner in the hall. He's just a returner to VG. I just felt like he was in the hall because he's one of my boys. He's one of he's just one of my boys. I love the guy. He lived right across the hall from me, and there's just been so many times where I've either just gone in his room or he's just come in mine. And most of the time when he comes in mine, he just kind of stands there and he's like, "Hey, can I just hang out here for a while and not do homework?" I was like, "Yeah, you can." And we'll just go and have conversation about like literally anything. And I love it so much. He's one of my boys. He's fellow Southern Californian. You already know who you are. But my favorite story from him this year comes from just the very, very end of February, going into what we like to call Mustache March. For all of you who have not done Mustache March, I highly suggest doing Mustache March at some point in your life. It is a fantastic thing to do. But he was telling me, he's like, "Yeah, man, I don't know, like, I really want to do it." And I was like, "Yeah, I know you want to do it. Like, we've been talking about it, and you obviously have to because you have a really dirty stash when you have one." He's like, "Yeah, I know." It's like, I don't know how my girlfriend will feel about it. I was like, "So you're not gonna just do it?" And he's like, "No, I'm gonna ask my girlfriend first." So I don't know. I thought it was kind of funny, and it's like, we just started dating, so I need to make sure I don't screw this one up. But for the Filthy Stash Award goes to my brother, Ban. Love you, dude. Hope I can see you soon once this Rona stuff's over.
Oh man. Love Ben. So this next one was probably one of my favorite awards. So this guy, pretty much everyone on campus knows him. He's a pretty big guy, just a loud character, and he's like very talkative. Like he's just very social, and he's just one of those guys that is very warming and that just welcomes you into conversation, never tying you down to a conversation, but always wants to just know what you think. And he's just got this peace about him, and it's absolutely awesome to be around this guy. And for his award, it is the Mark Zuckerberg Award, for no other reason but he is the social networker of PVG. He is always just out there making friends, talking to people, and he is also one of the guys who this past semester, he had a really good track record on coming to small group. But first semester, he came to the first small group, and then he showed up at the last one. And he gave crap to someone for showing up late, and I immediately was just like, "What are you talking about? You've only been to one other small group." And he was like, "You were keeping count?" And so for the rest of this last semester, every time he shows up, I'm just like, "Oh, there's another one." He's like, "Yeah, I actually showed up this time." And it's just so much fun to give him crap and have late night conversations when he wants to come in the room and talk theology or about revelations and about the crazy crap going on in this world. Absolutely love this guy. So the Mark Zuckerberg Award goes to my boy, Dylan Tutt. I love you, dude.
All right. So this award goes to one of those guys who you just like, wow, this guy's going to be successful later on in life, like, no doubt. And I was his RA his freshman year. Shout out to me. So definitely want to stay in contact because when you become rich and famous, remember me. Anyways, this is a guy who early on in the semester, I figured out he played for a professional soccer team over the summer, or was on one of their teams, the Timbers. And I was like, wow, that's very impressive for someone who's a teenager still. And then also wants to be a doctor. So just that alone, I'm like, okay, wow, that's impressive. And then I go to a soccer game, and who's our starting keeper? It's this freshman. Well, he actually a transfer sophomore. But first year at Corbin, and you were out there starting keeper every single game. This is one of those guys that I wish I really got to know better. I'm excited to hang out with you more next year. It was a lot of fun having you in the hall. Good having you at small group. Really bummed that we didn't get to hear you lead our last small group there. So for the the Keeper is the Keeper award, this goes to the guy who was a fantastic keeper this year for one of Corbin Soccer's best seasons so far, and also a guy who you'll see on the field for the next, hopefully 3 years. So shout out to Justin.
This next award is going off to the only person that lived with me in Ballio back in the 2016-17 school year. He is someone that when I saw his name on the list, I mean, we obviously didn't see it this year, but normally when the coronavirus isn't a thing and we're doing this in actual, in front of each other, on Alex's office door, she'll go and post who gets into what room instead of us getting emails about it. And I saw his name on the list and I got so excited. And I was just super, super happy because he was just one of those guys that who in my hall freshman year, we were able to just go and talk and just have a good time all the time. And, this year I was just able to go and hang out with him and be able to talk with him and his girlfriend and just be able to, just check on each other all the time. And I don't know, he's just such a great individual to have in the hall. He also can do a standing backflip, and I'm still, what the heck, man? I don't even know how you do that. But I can jump 2 inches though. So with that though, he also was the one person that I think attended the least amount of community gatherings, and every single time I tried to find him, I never could, but I somehow always found him afterwards. I knew about it, and I think you didn't think I did. So for the I Heart Community Gatherings Award goes to my brother, Matthias. I love you, dude.
Oh man, that's great. This one goes out to someone I really love in the hall. Just love seeing every day, and it was almost like if I didn't see him every day, my day wasn't complete. I hadn't checked something off my list, and I've known him for 2 years, and he is still in VG, which is awesome. But this guy is on the baseball team, and every single day, he and I started this accountability thing where every time I'd see him, I'd be like, "Did you read your anatomy book today?" "Yeah, you know who you are." And he'd be like, "Oh, dude, thanks for reminding me." "Yeah, I'll go do that right now." And he'd go back to his room and do it, even if they were going to talk about it or whatever. Or there'd be other days I'd be like, "You read your anatomy book today?" He'd be like, "Oh, man, you already know it." And I'm like, "All right, nice." And my all-time favorite story between this guy and his roommate, who was his roommate last year too. I walk into their room and they were freshmen, and I walk in and just to say hi, and I just kick open the door. I was probably in my underwear or less. And they both just look at me, and they're both at their desks, and I see this flashlight looking thing on his desk, and I'm like, "Is that a vape?" And they died laughing. And it's just been a running joke these past couple of years. And so the I Only Hit Books and Fat Vapes award goes to my boy Jared. Love you, dude.
All right. So back to the topic of soccer. The attic this year was stacked with awesome soccer players, which was really fun for me because I love going to soccer games. And going those, got to watch most of you guys freaking kill it out there in the undefeated season. And also, most of you guys were starters, which was dope. Unfortunately, this guy wasn't a starter. Well, he started some games, but I definitely disagreed with the coach on that one because your handling skills are freaking mad, dude, and you could definitely play at higher ranked school. But you stuck around Corbin, which I totally respect because Corbin's the best. Story with this guy that I think of is at the beginning of the year, you guys probably will remember that by the whiteboard when you first enter the attic, where we write the stupid stuff about whatever's going on. By the water fountains there was this giant cardboard box. And it started out with having like 2 pairs of shoes in it and some clothes and random stuff. And I was like, okay, someone's moving into the room, no big deal. It's there another week, and I'm like, okay, as an RA, I probably should do something about this, but I'm too chill and lazy to, so I'm just going to leave it. And 3 weeks go by, and it starts filling up with trash, and it just keeps on filling up with more and more trash, mainly from James, I think, with his Chipotle junk that he just kept leaving in there. But anyways, it was really practical. It was just like this community trash can right when you enter the hall, and you just throw your Dutch Bro in there or whatever. And unfortunately, I had to remove that from the hall after sticking it in your roommate's bed. But anyways, Nate Sherwood, you get the sure would have been nice if you left your junk. And what I mean by that is your junk box in the hall. So congratulations for your junk box.
That's good. This next award is going off to another freshman in the hall. He actually didn't start off in our hall, but he came in at semester. He is someone that I was super, super excited to have in my hall. I just love being able to hang out with you and just being able to laugh about anything. You just have like this, I don't know, it's like there's something about you that goes and just like makes me like really happy. Like whenever you're around, I'm like, yeah, like let's go. And I feel like a lot of the guys in the hall felt that too, because once you moved in, all of a sudden there was just a whole lot of sounds coming, and I was like, what's going on? And just every single day I just heard a lot of wah, wah, wah. I was like, huh? And for those of you that aren't familiar with Nintendo, Waluigi specifically, the best person in the Mario Galaxy. It was just a whole lot of just the Waluigi wah, wah, all the time, constantly, and I loved it. And I did it too all the time, and I'm just was really, really excited to be able to have you in the hall. I can't wait to hang out with you more next year. So for the Waluigi Time Award goes to my boy, Nick Pope.
Oh man. All right. So this next award goes to someone who I have loved for like 4 years. Absolutely love this guy. He is one of the few 4-year VG veterans still around. Absolutely love this guy. And if there's one thing that would define this person, it's games. It doesn't matter if it's video games, board games, card games, D&D, any type of game, he knows. He has board games that you would have never even thought would have been able to have existed. And he knows about it, and he loves it. And he does get a little ragey sometimes, which is why he's cut back his time in League of Legends. And I'm really glad that he did, because it caused him to come to my room a lot more and play zombies with me, which was one of my all-time favorite things as an RA, was playing zombies with all you guys, because I love Nazi zombies. I mean, who doesn't love killing zombies and Nazis? It's like 2 birds with 1 stone. And so the Platinum Trophy Award goes to my boy Tristan Snare.
Nice. So for this next guy, this is one of the guys that just kind of like embodied the attic. And definitely everyone upstairs knew who he was because he's a very unique, very funny guy who was around once in a while, showed up to small group like maybe half the time. And when he did, usually just distracted us by doing stupid stuff and totally keeping us off the topic. Anyways, when I think about you, the funniest memory that pops to mind is during the Mr. VG auditions. So I'll disclose a little secret here. The VG auditions, what we try to do in those is make the contestants feel like as awkward and uncomfortable as possible, which works pretty well, and it's super fun. But for this guy walks into the room. Before we do anything, he takes it over, and until he walks out of the room, we feel like he's making us feel awkward, and he's controlling like the entire room. And at a certain point, I'm pretty sure I closed my eyes because it got like too much. But it was freaking hilarious, and I wish I could tell you guys more about that. Anyways, we know him as Big Papa. Mr. VG knew him as the guy who ate lemons to Ice Ice Baby and freaking killed it. And Jacob, you were a fun guy to have in the hall, and I definitely am excited to hang out with you more next year. Hope you're doing super well. Your award is a Jacob Like Salad Award. That's a personal joke. I'm not going to go into that. But yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
All righty. This next award is going off to a guy who actually also moved in at semester in our hall. We had a good amount of people come in at semester in Westside this year, but I knew about him coming in at semester for all of first semester. Even before then, into that summer, he was telling me the plans, and all of a sudden it went from being like, yeah, I'm gonna be here first semester to, yeah, no, I can't be here. It's gonna take a while. I might be coming late second semester to, I'm not coming at all. And I got really, really sad. And then all of a sudden, last minute, I find out he's coming back. He will be here. And I got super, super stoked. And he didn't tell a lot of people. And he tried to surprise a bunch of guys. And I thought it was awesome. But I'm just really proud of this guy. Just for being the man that he is, the man of God, and just, the work ethic that he has. The reason why he wasn't here first semester is that he was going to boot camp and to tech school for the Air Force. So for the, yeah, I'm in the military. Nope, not just in Call of Duty award goes to my brother, Kevin. I love you, dude.
Still on mute.
Thank you, Boonaya. I swear, if that happens one more time, that actually leads to the inside joke behind this award. So this guy, I absolutely love this guy. I cannot wait to come visit him next year and to just bother him and to just prank him. And if there's one person I enjoyed pranking and being pranked by, it is this man. I'm pretty sure all the RAs can agree this is the man that it was fun to be pranked by, because they were never really harmless. They'd be a little annoying, but they'd be funny. And sometimes they'd be just like, what the heck? One of my favorite stories is I was in the bathroom and I like walked out and I saw him walk back into his room, and he stacked up a chair and a bunch of garbage. No, not the chair, just a bunch of garbage up against my door, thinking that I'd open it and it'd all fall. So what I did is I grabbed my red chair from my room and put it against his door, like falling, like tipping upside down, with all the trash on top. And then I went to bed. The next morning I get a snap and I just get like just a bunch of snaps of them holding my chair hostage, like dressed up like and like having a throat to, or a knife to like the throat of my chair. They're like, "We have your chair." So then I ran to the basement and I grabbed a chair from one of the rooms. I brought it upstairs and I put it at my desk and I was like, "What are you talking about? Me and Alex's chairs are right here." And to this very day, they didn't even know that side of the story. So you got freaking pranked, bro. And so the entire year, they've just had 3 chairs in their room, not knowing where it came from. But that's where it came from because I got you. And this is a really big inside joke between me and him. My love for this guy is just absolutely infinite. I absolutely love this guy. So the OK Boomer Award goes to Kyle Stinson. I love you, brother.
Nice. Yeah, Kyle, you were a fantastic pranker, and luckily I got the last laugh when it came to our prank war. Anyways, moving on to another one of our seniors in the hall. This guy and I, we were in the same freshman seminar, and we've pretty much been in every single business class together since our freshman year, and have probably spent hours complaining about projects and professors. So, yeah, luckily we both just finished CCP, so we're pretty much dunzos, which feels fantastic. This guy is, as a senior, he was on the soccer team. He was a real leader this year, and I really respected him for that. He really brought a lot of the new players together and kind of built a community in the dorms on campus for a lot of the soccer guys. At the beginning of the year, there was 9 soccer players in the hall, and you really stepped up and just came back with art to bring them together, and did a good job at that, just chilling, playing games, watching movies. And then at the end of the year, you got most of them into a show that I used to have the most fun time ridiculing because it's, in my opinion, super stupid. But this year, unfortunately, I got hooked on it, mainly due to you. But anyways, the Bachelor's Secret Award goes to Jordan Keegan. Yeah, Rip Kelly. That's it.
All right. This next award is going out to another freshman in the hall. He was a guy that had roommates throughout the year, but ended up not really having roommates except for Al. His drawing that he made and called his roommate and put a name tag on the door for. But this guy went, and there's one thing that you know about this guy is that he loves to eat. He loves candy and sugary things and cookies and all that kind of stuff. But it really, really sucks because he's a wrestler and he can't eat those things normally. But, sometimes, he'd get hurt, maybe he got hit on the head a little bit too hard, or maybe, the season ends or something like that. And, you bet when that happens, he's going to be putting on 10 to 20 pounds strictly from cookies, ice cream, and candy. One of the funniest things that I think happened towards the end of the year between the two of us is that he went and bought $40 of Fun Dip or something like that. And that's $40 half price. So in reality, $80 worth of Fun Dip. And he took a bunch of the sticks and he just put them in random places all over my room. And then he would tape them to my door and line them in front of my door and stuff like that. And it was just really funny to be able to go and find him. Other than that, he was just serious note. He was one of the just like spiritual leaders in the hall, being able to hear from him. It's small group all the time was amazing, and just his knowledge of the Bible is great. And I can say I learned a lot from him this year. But for the you're a sugar addict, yes, this is an intervention award goes to Ryan Davis. I love you, man.
Yeah, I actually checked him out, and he still had a bunch of Fun Dip, and he told me to take a bunch. So I took one of his one of 3 empty M&M containers, and I just filled it up with Fun Dip. And I had 2, and I'm like sugared out for the next month. So
He
moving
ate
on to
to in a week, just to put that out there for everybody that wants to know.
So the next award, this goes to a guy that came at semester, and this is a guy that I absolutely love. I love to be around. I love hearing. I hear him every single day. Even though he didn't live in the room next to me, he practically did. And probably 90% of the people in the hall thought that he lived in Travis and Trevor's room, but he didn't. He lived downstairs. But this is a guy who came in at half semester, and he had this look about him that he looks very Pacific Northwest. But he's actually from the opposite side of the country, which is hilarious to me. And he's got a super chill vibe about him, and he's just super bubbly, happy, and always down to do stuff. Absolutely love this guy. So the Hipster Image of Christ Award goes to my man Max Lynx. I love you, dude, and I wish we had another semester to do stuff, but I know you'll do some great things next year, so I'll be seeing you, my man.
All right. Speaking of loud people, this guy is not only a loud person, he loves loud music, and he loves it so much that he had the desire to share his fantastic music with everyone in PVG, especially upstairs, very often. And a couple times I'd just walk into his room and he'd just be standing there, just dancing to his music, just having the best time, which I think is hilarious. And I love that it's Latino music, actually Brazilian music, Brazilian pop. It's fantastic. And I would definitely try to like roast your love of that. However, I like it too, so I just respect it, and I also respect music or people that just let their music, just blare and burn their eardrums straight out. Yeah, but yeah, Charles, you're just a fantastic guy. You were a lot of fun to have in the hall this year. Super great guy, super friendly, and you're also a beast on the soccer field. And you literally like made me scared for the people that you would be guarding a couple times in games, especially that one time you threw the guy into the wall or the fence. It's freaking dope. And yeah, you're a beast all around, and your music is dope. So the Turn Up Award with little music notes goes to Charles, my guy. Love you, bro.
Now, I know both Luke and James were talking about, I know we're not supposed to pick favorites and stuff like that, but as I've told him he's my least favorite. So you already know who you are. But no, I actually just really love this dude. You might have seen him. He goes and he'd be hanging out in the lobby a lot, doing homework, hanging out with his girlfriend, painting shoes, or the one thing that he would do, and he is the only person I know that does this in the lobby, fold his laundry. Don't know why. I still don't know why you do that, man. But and if there's one thing you did see him do, is probably fold his laundry, because this man did his laundry 2 to 3 times a week, probably, at least in the very beginning of the school year. No, but in all reality, I love this guy so much. I love just being able to go and have dinner with him once a week, being able to just go and talk about life or just be complete idiots and talk about how we can ruin our lives hypothetically. And yeah, with that, the Billy Mays here award goes to my man, Evan. I love you, dude.
For this next award, goes to a guy that I look up to. I do. I look up to him in the way that he's just stylish. Like, it doesn't matter what he's wearing, it looks 30 times better, if not 100 times better than what I'm wearing at any given time. And he just has this macho way about himself that he's just a man. And little what's it, one of my favorite stories was when we had our sectional with the lights up at the lumberjack fields. After I went through all my questions to turn on your lights if you did something, I can't remember who it was. It was probably someone next to you, but they said, I've never, or turn on your lights if you've killed a zebra with your bare hands. And every single person looked at you and you didn't turn on your light and you're like, you guys, like, you think that I just did that? Like, not, like, we don't have that. And it was just hilarious. And I love just going to your room and seeing, well, actually, you'd never really be in your room, just like your roommate. You'd normally be in Shane and Diego's room. And besides that, you're just very stoic. You're always just have this seriousness about you. And I absolutely love it. Like this one time I locked myself out of the dorms and I saw Shane and Diego's window was open. So me and Alex climbed through the window, which is also illegal. So, and so we walked through and you were just sitting there playing Xbox and you didn't even bat an eye. You just looked at us and you were like, you guys came through the window? And I was like, yeah, I locked myself out. And you're like, okay. And then he just continued playing Xbox. So I'm pretty sure it was Minecraft. So the Stylistic Stoic Award goes to my man, Matty. Love you, dude.
James, I'm totally telling Alex that's $400 for you and Alex.
No!
Boom. That's actually so hilarious. I wanted to do that so many times, dude. When I saw a window open and I was locked out, which was a lot because my key was lost for a section of the year. But I didn't because I'm a good person. Jeez. Anyways. So yeah, this is my last golden plate. This is sad. Yeah, but last but not least, my guy, well, I can't say your name yet. I'll just explain to you. This is a guy who's a transfer junior. You came to play soccer, and you definitely did that. You were freaking killer on the field. I was going to look up your stats today. I didn't get a chance to, but I know you were one of the top scorers in the history of Corbin soccer, if not the top. Like, dude, you're fun to watch. You make soccer interesting. The reason I used to not like watching soccer is because I was like, they never score. So I don't know. As a basketball player, I'm like, I don't know, like it's all defense, no offense. But this year, going to your games, I don't think I went to a single one where I didn't see you score 1, 2, 3, 4 goals. It was fun. So yeah, you were a fun guy to have in the hall. I remember one time when you were sick and you just kept on asking me for things, and it was just, I just loved it. Not that you were sick, but just that I could go and like hang out with you and catch up with you. And you were asking me to, which at that point we weren't really bros yet, so it was just good to get to know you and hang out a little bit. But yeah, like I said, you're freaking killer at soccer. So Matthias, You get the go back to Brazil. You're too good for soccer, or I should say, go back to football because, yeah, you need to go back to where soccer rules your home slice. Anyways, yeah, that wraps it up for me and the boys in the attic. Love you guys. Definitely miss you, and I can't wait to see you guys. At least you who aren't graduating next year on campus. So hang tight. Have a great summer.
Yeah, me and James still have a couple more. So this next award is going out to a guy who I went and just was really easily able to just kind of click with. He is just a total goof. He is also extremely smart, and I don't know, like he's just one of those guys. He's a freshman that I was able to go and just be able to hang out with, and I'm like, yeah, no, like this guy likes to be dumb, and I like to be dumb, and this is a great friendship, and I'm really glad that I have him here. He was one of our guys that was in Mr. VG. I was very excited about him. He also was the very first person in PVG to win an event, being Spell or Die. On top of that, he is one of the guys that got hired to be an RA, but sadly not in PVG, but rather in Farrar. Not saying that Farrar's bad. I think you're going to do great there. And you're actually going to give me an excuse to go to Farrar next year because I didn't really have one before. But I just want to say I'm really, really proud of you, dude. I know you're going to be a fantastic RA. And next year, they can't make fun of you for being a minor anymore. So that joke was for Boonaya. But I love you so much, man. The Man of Brick award goes out to my man, Declan.
Yeah, we're sending our minor to Farrar as a missionary. Declan's going to help them invent fire, wheels, and give them some taste of civilization down there.
Oh man. So this next one goes to a guy that I absolutely love in the hall. Normally he's laying down and watching TV or playing games. And I don't really see him outside of the halls too much. Seen him drive around a couple times, but I never see him at the dining hall, walking around campus, the library, anywhere. I'll see him in his room and I'll see him in passing, but I will never see him outside. And some of my favorite times to see him is right before small group. Every single time I'd walk by the rooms and I'd come out and be like, small group? And he's like, oh yeah, Hakes is coming back in a little bit. We'll be there. We'll be right there. And I'm like, oh, no problem, dude. And then he wouldn't show. He would show every once in a while, normally the first and last of every semester. And then one random one first semester. And it was absolutely awesome to have him there. But every single time before small group, he was like, oh yeah, like, yeah, dude, yeah, just give me 5 minutes. And that 5 minutes turned into, next week and the next week. And I absolutely love just having heart-to-hearts with this guy. So the small group special guest star award goes to my man, Nick Torrey. I love you, bud.
Well, this next award goes off to a man who is very, very special in my heart and in my life. He was someone that I got really blessed to know over these last couple years. We've been able to just become really, really good friends. And then I was really, really excited to be able to have him as a roommate this year. He was the best roommate for me, in the fact that we could just go and be able to sit up way too late and look at memes or watch YouTube videos, or decide to start to play Call of Duty at 11 and then play until 3 o'clock and then hate ourselves and then wake up at 7. Except for he would wake up at like 9 because he didn't have anything going on except for like a night class every couple days. Um, but, you know, this guy went and, like I said, we'd play Call of Duty all the time. And, you know, he would complain about people using shotguns all the time. And then whenever we'd go anywhere, I seemed to be the one driving and he would be my shotgun rider. So the Shotgun Rider Award goes to my man, my lover, my roommate, Nicholas Alexander. I love you so much, Nick.
I'll echo that too. I love you, Nick. But this next award does not go to my roommate yet, but he's coming up soon. This one goes to one of my absolute favorite guys in the hall. Highlight of my week every single week, getting dinner with this guy, just sharing his life with me, and just way too many memories to even pick one that is amazing. The one I personally love is just his dedication to come to my room and just walk in and be like, zombies? And I'd be like, man, I've got like 3 assignments due tomorrow. Let's hop on, dude. And we just play zombies. And this one time we were playing, he's like, man, have you ever played on it's the castle one. I can't remember which one it is. It's not Der Rise, but it's the one that's in like the German castle. He's like, have you ever played on that map with the bows and the arrows? And I was like, no, I never have. And he's like, well, here, let me Venmo you real quick. Let's buy it on your stuff so we can play it. So he just bought me a zombies map, and now it's my favorite map. And another thing that was just huge with him is that his dedication to small group. First and second semester, he was at every single one except for one. He was someone I could always rely on, and he actually went to way more small groups than even my own roommate did. So that actually meant super a lot to me. Just always having his bright face there, knowing what his highs and lows were of the week, and just growing with him spiritually this year. It's just been absolutely amazing and such a blessing in my life. So the small group MVP award goes to my brother, Jimmy McGovern, also known as Michael, as his actual first name. Love you, dude.
Jimmy. I love him. Shout out to my roommate next year. I'm coming back, boys. So this is my last golden plate or white paper award, as it is for me currently. But this goes out to probably the whitest guy in our hall, the whitest person I know, and it's funny because he's not really white, but this guy, I'm just really, really proud of him. Seeing him over these last 2 years, you know, he's a returner, and just seeing how he's grown into the man of God that he is just been so, so great. Being able to just, you know, still joke around with him and, you know, drive together to church, which is one of my favorite things to do. And just see him grow as a leader. From last year, one of the funnier stories is Alex Gowan at the time, now Yang, went and reached out to him and was like, hey, would you want to apply for being the international RA? And he was like, nah, dude. And I thought it was really funny because I was like, yeah, there's no way that this dude would try to be an international RA. I know him too well. And it's great because this year he actually did apply, not for international RA, but just for RA. And I'm very excited that he is now going to be the RA of West Side, and I get to go and I get to hand down Swift Justice to him, and he can be our Hall's new champion. So, the champion of the West Side Award goes to my man, my brother, and my boyfriend, Caleb Pineda. I love you so much, Caleb, and I can't wait to work with you next year.
For this next one, he actually gets a special privilege because he's here. He actually gets to see it in person. So everybody, Alex. So this next award goes to my absolute best friend in all of Corbin. He's just been an absolute brother these past 4 years. He's always been there to pick me back up and also to challenge me when I'm wrong, which has been more frequent than not. And vice versa. He's just been an absolute party animal to be around and has made Corbin an experience that I could never forget. And his award is called the Pete Ross Award. There's a reason for that. We recently started binge watching the show Smallville, which is about Superman growing up. And we watched 5 seasons in a matter of 2 weeks. And they're 22 episode long seasons with 45 minutes, so you can do the math. But Pete Ross in the show, he's Superman's best friend. He wouldn't have been able to grow into the man that he was without him. He couldn't have kept all of his secrets, and he truly wouldn't have been the same person without him. So to my brother, Alex Artavanis, I give the Pete Ross Award.
Woo!
Yeah. Oh, it's not muted.
Is that all? All right. So second to lastly, we're gonna announce who the Will Bassam Award is. You okay, Jim? Okay. We're gonna announce who the Will Bassam Award is, and we kind of agree on this guy that this guy really embodied what PVG really is. He really captured the spirit of the best dorm on campus. I know I kept saying that, and I'm such a hypocrite because I don't say that to the other AAC, but I believe that with my whole heart. This guy is, he's really warm to all the halls, so he really reach out to everyone in PVG, not just the guys' hall, especially the girls' hall. He's really warm to everybody. I really like being around him. He's just easy to be around with if you understand that. He's just it's nice to be around him. And Will Bassam is known for a person who pranks a lot of people. I believe the Sasquatch costume that we have, I think it belongs to him. So he pranks a lot of people, and so does this guy. He's very inviting to everyone, and most importantly, you're not really a PVG resident if you haven't been called out like snuggling too hard with your girlfriend. If you haven't done that, you're really not a resident. So find a girlfriend, snuggle, and get called out. So for this person, he almost didn't make it to the list, but a few days before we all left, because of coronavirus or COVID-19. If you're a stuck-up snob, you can call it that. You can. He got a girlfriend and he snuggled with her. Anyways, I'm not gonna go that too far. This 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 award goes to Kyle Stinson, and he chose to give us a 1-minute speech. So James, do you want to show us what the speech looks like?
Yes, and just to give everyone a background, normally this would be at the Clatch, and you would get a gold spray painted hammer that's about this big, and you get the option of mooning everyone or giving a 1-minute speech. Both things Will Bassham was known for. This creature, this guy that was here so long ago. But because this is going to be online, Kyle chose to do the 1-minute speech, and so here it is.
As the human embodiment of Pruitt Van Gilder Hall, I would like to accept this award with much gratitude. I would like to thank the RA team of this year, especially James Donnell for throwing trash in my room very often. I'd also like to thank Luke for letting me steal his couch. And I'd like to thank Jake for trying to whip me in the hall repeatedly, but it was fine. No lawsuits here. Anyways, thank you to PVG. Thank you for the award. Yes. Anyway, the speech is still going on. There's still 15 seconds left on the clock. So, anyways, much gratitude. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let's see. Last of all, thanks.
Yes, and thank you, Kyle, for being just an amazing part of the dorm, for truly just diving into everything and being just the great guy you are. And now we're going to hop into the last part, which is Boonaya presenting his golden plate to the RAs, and then me presenting my golden plate to Boonaya.
All right, thank you, James. So this really sad, actually. We can't really do this in person. I've been looking forward to say some of these things to you guys. It's been really a pleasure for me to work alongside some of the best students at Corbin. So for this person, I'm just going to say the name so I can share to you directly. So Luke, I think you are a leader that your hall really look up to. You have a really tight-knit hall. Your hallmates really respect you, and I can see that in how you guys interact. And you're just a really fun person to be around. You make PVG spicy, and it's been a pleasure working with you. At the beginning of the year, I remember you saying that you want to have, this has something to do with your golden plate. At the beginning of the year, you said that you really want to have a lot of kids, and Alex and I were having one-on-ones, and we were talking about our RAs, and that just came up in our conversation. So for your golden plate award, it's pretty long. The year is 2078. Lukey, I knew my wife like a lot. So I'm looking forward to your big family. I'm looking forward to babysitting your kids and playing with them. Looking forward to catching up with you if we have the chance. And I'm looking forward to you just coming back and we can clean PVG together. For my next person, he has 2 golden plates.
Thank you, Boonaya. Love you, dude.
Love you too, Luke.
I'm also excited for free babysitting. That's sweet. I'm not gonna forget that.
Yeah, I'll babysit your babies for free. Um, this next person has 2 golden plate because somebody asked if he can write a golden plate for you. Um, and this goes to Jake. Jake, after having been in the same team with you for 2 years, I've seen that you're a good leader. You're an essential part of the team, especially during meetings. When you speak, everybody listens to you because you keep the team accountable. You keep um, our goal really realistic because we're just filled with people who want to do a bunch of things and not having the resource to do it. You, I don't know, you just have this type of leadership that really bring everybody together to the team, and I really respect you. And I'm really happy that you'll be AAC next year. So I'm looking forward to visiting VG next year and just seeing what it looks like. So for your first award, this comes from Marius. He really wants to write you one, and he says, "Yeah, Jake just go around the lobby naked. He's just really proud of his boys. So he really don't care if he's just like, yeah, if he's just naked." So this is the second time somebody gave out this golden plate, but I think this is really fitting for you. So most likely to get sunburnt on his penis too goes to Jake. And Jake's second golden plate is from me. So a couple of days ago, April 1st, April Fools, I was going to bed and I turned off my light and everything. And I climbed into my bed, and as I was putting my blanket above me, I can just feel this presence in my room. I can just feel this, cotton legs. And so I feel that thing in my bed. I was just like, that's it. I'm gonna die, or I'm cursed or something. So I turn on the light, and I can see just this 2 small legs just like sticking out of my bed, and turns out it's a baby clown doll, and it was super scary. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to bed right now. I'm gonna go to a bunch of people's room. I'm gonna have human interaction first, and then I'm gonna get rid of this doll, and then I'm going to bed. So I went to a couple of people's room, and I went to Jake's room, and I said, dude, you won't believe what happened to me. There's a doll on my bed. And Jake was like, dang, that's pretty scary. And a couple of days later, I was having dinner with one of our coworkers, Sarah Dodd, and she told me the story that, yeah, Jake put it there. I told him to put it there, and I was like, how could you, Jake? So for Golden Plate Award, Filthy Snitch goes to Jake. I love you, dude.
I love you so much, Boonaya. Oh my gosh. I'm so happy with both of those. I love you a lot. I'm sad that I'm not going to be there when we clean, but I can't wait for you to come back and visit.
Yeah,
I love you so
looking.
much. It's been so great these last 2 years.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so for my last award, which is to James, James is a good friend of mine. He's not just I don't see him just as a leader on campus, but he's a good friend of mine. I would say he's one of my best friends. He really helped me go through some tough times during this semester, and that means a lot to me. I know that he's a person I can rely on, not just in leadership, but just as a friend. If I, yeah, if I'm going through a hard time, I know that I can just give him a call. Yeah, so I really enjoyed our friendship this past year. It's really sad how we've known each other for like 4 years, but we've become really good friends at the end of our time together. So for James's award is, I'm gonna tell you the background story first. As you guys all know, James is, let's say, he's not very heterosexual. He he does a lot of really gay stuff to some of our residents. I don't. That's not serious. But does he does something that really makes me uncomfortable. In that I'm afraid that our resident will like sue us or something. So every time he does this thing where he goes to our resident's room in the middle of the night and just dance in his underwear while everybody is asleep, I'm just afraid that somebody will sue us and like Corbin will go bankrupt because one RA was like, I don't know, have this amazing idea of doing really non-heterosexual stuff. So I kept telling James that, James, there's 9 reasons why you shouldn't do this. It's called Title 9 because we actually can get into trouble if we do something like this. But thankfully, we're in a pretty conservative college. We don't go to Berkeley or something where like people will take these stuff seriously. So for James's award, it's the Title 9 coordinator. So I love you, James, and I'm looking forward to your wedding. I'll probably cancel my own wedding at that point if you ever get married.
Oh my goodness, Boonaya. I absolutely love you, Boonaya. Oh, thank you so much.
I love you too, James.
Oh man. All right. Oh, I love you so much, Boonaya. You're such a great brother, and I'm glad I've gotten to be able to be on the same team and get so close to you. And as the last resident in my hall, and also my AAC, this is your golden plate, Boonanny. So, if most of you don't know, Boonaya a very godly man. He loves the Lord with all his heart. And sometimes not too much, because it's impossible to love God too much. But he's very bad at giving himself grace, which he really needs, and well, all of us needs. But he is one of the most theologically sound people I've ever met, and person who actually loves reading his Bible. Not that no one loves reading their Bible. And another big meme of Boonaya is that he's currently single, and he will make self-depreciating joke after self-depreciating joke about being single forever in any circumstance, even when it was student leadership, not experience night, interest night. He was making single jokes to people being interested in being RAs in PVG. And I thought, Boonaya, why? Every time it surprises me that he comes up with a new one, and it's hilarious. But if there's one person that shouldn't be worried about getting married, it's him. And he is one of the people that has been the hardest I have ever seen on hazing. I love hazing, whether that's dancing in the room with my underwear or chasing my fellow RA Jake around with a whip while we're naked. And I just love doing those things, which is nothing compared to what used to happen my freshman year. There was some bad stuff freshman year. Jake can affirm that. He was in Trevor's Hall. He knows some crap. Kenzu, that's all I'm gonna say. But so for Boonaya, his award is the most likely to get sued by or join tulipsingles.com award. I absolutely love you, Boonaya, and if you don't get sued by Tulip Single, you should definitely join.
I'll consider it. Okay, I Thank you, James. I love you, James. So that ends our last event in PVG. It's been real, guys. We missed all of you guys, especially seeing PVG empty. Just like Jake says, it's kind of sad seeing the hall not being as smelly as it used to be, and not having, yeah, just weird stuff going on. Seeing people snuggling in the lobby, or just seeing the kitchen dirty, or just having people saying no more girls, and then um, going out to the hall half naked. That's always funny to see. So we definitely miss you guys, and for all of you who are not returning to Corbin, have a good life. Goodbye forever, I guess. We'll see each other in heaven. But for all of you who are returning to Corbin, yeah, we look forward. Jake will look forward to seeing you next semester. So we all love all of you guys, and have a nice summer. Don't catch the roundy boys. Don't catch coronavirus. Stay healthy. Yeah.
Love you, boys. Stay safe. Don't do anything I wouldn't.
I also love all of you guys. I also want you to stay safe and don't do anything I would.
Yeah, same here. Love you guys. Have a great summer. And yeah, I don't have any other follow up to that. Yeah, miss you guys. Stay chill.
VG Master Race, baby.
God bless.